What it do, what it do, what it do. Oh, what's up guys? You already know who it is. It's your boy Raheem for Raheem Gaming. And today guys, it is going to be an amazing day today guys. The reason why is we got not one, but two new infantry commanders coming to Rise of Kingdoms. Yes sir, I have an infantry main account and I have a cavalry main account. You already know we got King Arthur last time. But we're gonna be starting off with Tokugawa today. So with that being said guys, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and you hit that notification bell to be part of that notification gang. Also leave down below in the comment section what are your thoughts on these two new commanders. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So the first commander as we got is Tokugawa, which is an infantry main commander, garrison, and smite damage guys. So the first skill is his active skill, deals smite damage to a target troop, which is 2400, and reduces his defense by 10% for 3 seconds, which is nice. So that is a pretty good debuff, 10%. It's not amazing, but it is good just for being a garrison commander. Then this commander troops gains a damage absorption mighty shield for 2 seconds, damage factor of 600, which is super nice because, you know what I'm saying, it's a mighty shield. So that's something like William Wallace has, which is a mighty shield. Always good to have mighty shields. They're way better than just a regular old shield. So as you guys can see down there at the bottom, smite damage factor 2400, defense reduction 10%, and then the mighty shield damage factor 600. So that right there is nice just out the gate. Now his passive skill, as you guys can see here, whenever this commander launches a basic attack or counter attack, their infantry units have a 25% chance to gain 30% attack for 4 seconds. That's gonna be good, especially being on a garrison. And then the infantry units in their troop gain a 10% march speed, 10% defense buff. That's okay. I mean, 10% march speed, we don't really see a lot of march speed anyways like that, but especially for infantry, unless it's like Alexander the Great, I believe, who gets march speed. But this is pretty good. You can't be mad at 10% march speed, 10% defense. I wish they would have upped it to like 20% defense, bro. You need more than just 10%, but I don't know. That's pretty decent. I would say this one is decent. But I would have wished they went with the 10% march speed. So let's take a look at the other skill. All right, guys. So this passive skill right here, if this commander is a garrison commander, the garrison deals 10% more damage, which is nice. Okay, so that's just a flat out 10% damage buff to the garrison, as long as you have him as a garrison commander. So he doesn't even have to be the secondary or the primary. He automatically just gives the 10% buff. Hecka nice. I like that. Whenever the garrison deals smite damage, it has a 25% to cleanse one of the slow poison, exhaustion, or normal debuff effect from itself. Okay. If the effect has multiple stacks, it cleanses 1 stack. Okay. Which is not all that great, but it at least cleanses one of those. It at least cleanses one of those stacks. So that's nice. It gains 1 stack of Tuso effect for 10 seconds. Each stack increases the health of the garrison infantry unit by 5%. The Tuso effect can stack up to 4 times. So it can stack up to 4 times, 5%, which increases the health. So what, a 20% increase then? And the duration resets whenever it gains another stack. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So, you know, you get pairing with Gorgo, know what I'm saying? Gorgo primary, I would have still, at this point from what it's looking at right now, I would still have Gorgo primary, just because it doesn't say anything about needing to have him as a primary to get any of the buffs or anything like that. So right now, from what I'm looking like, I would probably pair him with Gorgo. He could be paired with Hera as well for right now. But definitely, I would have him paired with Gorgo primary, and then Tokugawa as the secondary. All right, so we got the passive skill and the expertise here. So let's look at the next passive skill, which is if this commander is a garrison commander, whenever the garrison receives a buff, it has a 50% chance to gain a damage absorption mighty shield effect for 3 seconds. Okay. That's nice. So this definitely is going to solidify him as a garrison commander. He's not going to be open field because the mighty shield right here is 1200 damage factor that it can absorb, which is very nice. And the cooldown is 7 seconds, which is, I wish it was like maybe like 4 or 5 seconds, maybe like 4 seconds. But I mean, it's something though. You know what I'm saying? It's something. So definitely I would have him with like Hera or like a Gorgo. Probably Gorgo might be the better pick, but yeah, he's solidified for just garrison. I wouldn't have him as open field because nothing really shines about him for open field play. And then his expertise is whenever this commander troop launches a basic attack or a counter attack, it has a 15% chance, which is 30% if it has a shield. Okay, so it has a 15% chance, but if he has the mighty shield going, then he has a 30% chance to deal smite damage to up to three enemy troops and a fan, which is a damage factor of 300. Every additional target reduces the damage to each target by 15%. So, okay, so he has a little bit of an AoE, you know what I'm saying, on his expertise. But, you know what I'm saying, still, I would definitely just use him as garrison commander. All right, guys, so now we got my boy Bai Qi, which is a infantry main, versatility, and smite damage. All right, so as you guys can see here, his active skill deals smite damage up to 5 enemies and a fan. Ooh, like that boy Luce. Okay. 2400 damage factor. Every additional target reduces the damage to each target by 15%. Each target has a 30% chance to take 15% extra damage. Oh my God, it got a debuff on it too. Woo! And then so smite damage factor 2400, damage increase 15%. Bro, that is slightly more damage than King Arthur, bro. That is banoodles. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Just that skill alone pretty much puts infantry back on top, bro. That is wild, bro. That is wild. Yeah, 15% extra damage that the enemy is gonna get from a debuff, which he has 30% chance to proc it. And then he already does 5 enemies in a fan shape, bro. Imagine him primary with Luce right behind him, bro. That's gonna be crazy. Or even him and Philip, bro. Ooh, that's gonna be banoodles out in the open field, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's gonna be crazy. This commander, so his passive skill is this commander infantry units gain 20% march speed. Let's go. 10% health. Jeez, bro, that's good. That's good because you can't get enough health. And then 40% attack damage. Oh my God, bro. Not only do they take the 15% extra damage, but now you're giving him a 40% attack buff, bro? What? Bro, nah. This right here should be illegal, bro. This right here should be illegal. Ain't no way they're giving this man, it is, might, I mean, depending on how the rest of the kit is looking, might be better than your boy Liu Chang. But we gotta see. But for right now, this is looking pretty solid. I mean, and not even looking solid. This is looking hella good, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. All right, guys. So the next passive skill, as we can see here, if this commander troop is attacking a troop on the map, their troop gains 10 stacks of malice effect whenever it uses an active skill. Okay. If its numbers of malice stacks is higher than the target's percentage units remaining, it spends 10%. It spends 10 malice stacks to deal smite damage to the target, damage factor 300. Okay, so that's a little bit confusing, but okay, so hold on. So it gains 10 stacks of malice whenever it uses a skill. So once the skill goes off, it gets 10 stacks of malice, okay? And the malice is equivalent, I'm guessing it's the equivalent to the target's percentage of units remaining. So let's say there's 100 units, you use the active skill, blah, 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 things goes off, and you're down to 90%, it's gonna do, that unit's down to 90%, then it's gonna do a check, and it's gonna see like, no, that malice stacks can't be spent. So you're not gonna get the smite damage, okay? So that's, so I guess if you're doing a 1v1 or if you catch somebody in a 1v1 with your troop, it's gonna take a cool minute for you to use that backup smite damage proc or whatever from the malice stacks. That's a little huff, I would think. Yeah, that's kind of huff, because just off of this alone, that ain't looking too good. So unless somehow, some way they got somewhere worked in these last two, maybe in the expertise or something, where he gets some more malice, it's looking huff. I'm just gonna say that. It gains 10%. So okay, so the second part is it gains 10% damage, 10% bonus to severing wound afflicted, and 20% bonus to rage recovery speed for 1 second, cooldown 1 second. So okay, so those two last for 1 second, and then the cooldown is 1 second. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But that first part of it is looking kind of huff, man. I ain't gonna hold you, but we'll see. So let's get into the last two. All right, guys. So we got the last two here. We got the last passive skill, and then we got the expertise. So let's get into it. This commander troops deals 10% more normal damage. I like that. Just a straight up flat damage for normal damage, which is nice. You can't get mad at that. When attacking a field troop, their troop gains 10 stacks of malice upon entering combat. But there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Boy, was that last passive skill looking huffery puffery. This is what I'm talking about, Lilith. Okay, you're saving that last passive skill, because boy, oh boy, I was like, nah, that's looking huff. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay. So 10 stacks of malice for every 10% units it loses. Okay, 10 stacks of malice for every 10% units it loses. Okay, so now we're stacking even more malice. Okay, so that's nice. That's really good, Liv. That's really good. A 5% bonus to smite damage dealt, up to 30% for every 10% units it's missing. Okay, I could rock with that. And then you see the normal smite and smite damage bonus down at the bottom. Now, expertise. Here we go, guys. See how good this expertise is gonna be. Let's see. If this commander troop is on the map after severely wounding 400,000 enemy units, it gains a 5% bonus to normal damage dealt. Dang, this man is just gaining normal damage, boy. Golly. Okay. When reduced to 50% units remaining, it deals 60% more damage and takes 30% less damage for the next 6 seconds. Is crazy. Boy, that's 60% more damage. That's banoodles, bro. Yeah, that man hitting like a truck. When reduced to 15% units remaining, it deals 100% more damage and takes 50% less damage for the next 6 seconds. This can trigger once per hour. Okay, once per hour. Okay. Boy, had they said this could trigger once every 10 seconds or something, bro, I would have left the game, bro. I was about to say, bro, this man having that on a rotation like that would have been nutty. That would have been banoodles, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, so he's looking really good. He's looking really good. I don't know how much better he's gonna be than Luce, or if he's gonna be better than Luce. But he is like a truck. Let's just say that. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and you hit that notification bell to be part of that notification gang. Because later on when he pops out, you know, like Kendrick Lamar says, sometimes you gotta pop out and show. But yeah. But once he pops out into the game, hopefully by then we'll know the best pairings for him and Tokugawa. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and you hit that notification bell to be part of that notification gang. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Love y'all. Peace.